voice board entry, right? And I put the prompt up there for them. I gave them a 5-minute time limit and a deadline. And I showed the students how to access this. Let's see now. Let's say that you need to do this, you want to do this for the first, you already know how to go on and create WIMBA, right? I don't need to show you how to do that. Yes, okay. How to, my question was how to put grades online easily. So this is what I did. I created a discussion sessions for each one of my oral assignments. And let's see, then I told the students that it was here. Do you know how to do grading? What's it called? It's not called rubric, it's called grading forms. Does everybody know how to do that? Because you have to do that to go with it. Let's see now. This is so complicated. I just know that I did it. I can never remember how I did it. Okay.
I feel your pain, Julia. Every time I open WIMBA, it's like the first time I've ever done it.
Because this is after I already did it. Right. And here we have how I'm giving them their grade. Well, maybe I'll just show you that first. How I gave them their grade. So Kathleen did her assignment. I listened to her assignment. As I listened to her assignment, if you look at the grading part, if you go down to B3, okay, B3 on the technical handout. Oh, do you have this one?
Yep.
Yep. We don't have it down here.
Oh. Are there extras?
How many are there?
2.
Just 2.
Okay, so B3. Now I've already got that rubric, and I'll come back to that. That Virginie created for the higher levels. Actually, it's right here, so you can see it. I don't have to go online to find it. I gave them it right here. So it's important, like Virginie said, that you show them exactly what is it that you're looking for. And so here we have, this is the one for the 300 and 400 level. And this is what I've used. Okay, so, and I do agree that it really becomes second nature after a while, what level the student is looking at. So the students, as you can see, they have access to this, and I told them to look at it before they did their homework. Okay. Now I'm back over to B3. Okay, so I've got this in my head, and I'm going to show you how to put it online. But for now, we're going to just assume that it's already there. And I've got students talking to me after they come back to the art museum. But what I've also done in the meantime, and I'm here at B3, I created a Word document simply called Oral Grades, where I just took the categories, composition, grammatical accuracy. There's, I think, 5: fluency, vocabulary, and creativity or intellectual content. I took those 5 categories and created a Word document and put in every student's name, and then, these 5 rubrics underneath every student's name. I just copy and paste, and then every time I listen to the students speak, I sit there and I take notes, like Anita said. I write down if they make a particular mistake that will help them improve. I put some notes there, and as they became interesting, I wrote more and more under creativity and intellectual content to create kind of a dialogue with them, because they invested a lot of time in these homeworks. I could tell they were quite interesting. So that was in a Word document on my computer. And then so now when the student has done their homework, and I'll just show you how the student would see it. And the student has done, okay, here's Kathleen, she did her homework. She will then, I have this discussion set up. Oh, I need to have it myself so you can see how I did it for her. Okay, session. Okay, so every time I gave a homework assignment, I would then create a topic. And and we can come back to that, because you have to do it right. You have to make it, I wanted to make it private. Mine was always really private. There's no sharing, so that no one hears anybody else's comments. So they get to see them.
Right.
That's what they wanted that. And we checked it ahead of time too. We did a test run with one person just to make sure that it really was private. And then we announced it back to the class that it really was private, so that no one would be embarrassed. So this is their homework. she wrote to me. Where is she? I guess it's on your team. Okay. That's the thing about it. You got to remember this concourse. It teaches you how to work with it. You have to comply with concourse. You have to be in teach to actually be able to get in here and do something. Okay. So here's all the students that wrote to me, and here's Kathleen. She wrote to me, and as I say, I'm now done on part C, posting grades. So on concourse, you open the discussion category, you make it visible to students, and you create a discussion topic, and we can go through that. And now I'm down to C4. So the student has written to me. They have to write to you at least one word. They can't just open it. They have to say something, and then you can reply. Because that's what you're basically doing is, she wrote to me and she said, bonjour, madame. And then with that, I can write her a comment. And the comment is going back to that Word document that said oral grades in my computer. I simply copy and paste her grade. And you see the numbers here, 5, 5, 5. Well, she did really well, so she gets 5. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was quite good. So she gets 5 all around. She gets 25. Okay? So that's simply copying and pasting into this document, into this discussion journal entry. And then you close the window. Because it's weird. It's just like, oh, you look at this, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to write another one? You know, it's confusing. I was very confused with this. But once you've written it and it turns gray, that's good, and you don't do any more. You hit post comment and it turns gray. And that means you can't change it too, so make sure that you wrote it correctly. And then you close this window. You don't have to keep adding other comments. But if they want to write back to you, and sometimes they did, at the beginning they were more chatty. And they wrote to me and wanted to thank me, for example. There's a lot of comments here. So there must be people wrote more than one comment, I guess. Let's see, somebody chatty. They just, oh well, whatever, doesn't matter. So, okay. Would you like to see how to link the rubric to the discussions? So that, that's how they get the number. I mean, it doesn't really, you don't really have to do that, because if you've given it to them under course content and they know that that's the rubric, you don't really have to put it behind discussion every time. But if you want to do that, I explained how to do it here. I'm not sure I could do it in front of you. I really went over to the IT office in the basement of this, or in the first floor of this building a lot at the beginning of this semester. And in fact, I got house visits. I got Laura Geckler to come to my office in Easter because I had so much trouble figuring out how to do all this stuff. And I really wanted to do it. And in fact, I had put it on my syllabus, so I had to do it. And I wanted to be able to give them their grades online too, because I thought I would have to copy and paste into email for every single student. Because of course you can't do a mass email with all their grades. But it was Laura Geckler gave me this solution of how to do it with using the discussion. And it's the best thing we came up with. Although I sent her this document, and that's why she gave me all the very detailed way how to put the grading form behind the scenes, because it's not so easy how to do that. And she also wrote, and she said, this gives her a very good insider's knowledge about how complicated it is for us to do this, and she's hoping to change concourse and make it better as a result. Sweet. So I think that's basically what I had to say. You know, we can come back to the PowerPoint here if you wanted to see just so that was the assignment. That was the work of art chosen by the student, and she compared it with this one in her assignment. This is what she did, and then this is just the poem. Just in case I might like to know a little bit about why she thought of this poem when looking at that painting. But it was a very creative assignment for the students, and it built on what they learned in readings of literature, and yet it allowed them to use a different part of their brain, visual part. And it really opened up the creativity wide open, because every student did something completely different. And it used another resource on our campus, which is the art museum. So I felt this was a successful assignment. Anybody have any questions? Well, I mean, my question for you is, those of you who teach in culture classes or literature classes, you know, do you think that you might like to do something like this too? What kinds of ways would you like to do?